Have you ever just looked at something and just saw it one final time and thought to yourself, I'm never gonna see this thing again? Well, that's actually what happened to me when I was working at an exotic car company and the day that someone wrecked the Ferrari. So if you guys are brand new to the channel, my name is Andrew. We're gonna do something a bit different today. Usually I do racing videos, but today I have a story time to tell you guys. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one. If you guys do, hit that subscribe button and hit that like button down below. So a little bit of context about how I was able to get in possession of a Ferrari and what exactly happened that caused it to become from this to this. We're rewinding the clock back to 2017, where I used to work at an exotic rental company. And basically, if you guys have ever heard of Royalty Exotics, which is based in Las Vegas, we basically did the exact same thing Royalty did, except at a smaller scale. We had Ferraris, we had Lamborghinis, we had Porsches, we have Aston Martins, we have basically any exotic car that you can think of, plus more at our facility. And that's how I was able to get a hold of many different types of exotic cars and also test them out in person. So I was really thankful to get that position, and it was probably one of the coolest jobs ever. The only issue that I had with the job was that, one, the company wasn't the most honest. Two, they really weren't that creative when it came down to marketing the company, so that's why it kind of went under. And three, it was the coworkers. Although all my coworkers were awesome and they were fun to hang out with, a lot of them did really shady stuff, like take the cars home after hours, rent them to themselves, as well as steal from the company. But those are other stories that I can probably get into. If you guys like these types of videos, you can just let me know in the comments down below if you guys want to hear more stories about what exactly went down at the exotic car rental company that I used to work for. So now that you guys have context, I can get on with the story. So the Ferrari 458 that we had in our possession was probably one of our older models of the car. We had two of them. One had 63,000 miles, which is the one that is on the thumbnail and basically the one that got crashed. And then we also had another one that had about 18,000 miles. That one we usually didn't like renting out unless if someone was gonna hold it for longer than a day. But the one that we gave to this gentleman, I'm gonna call him Bob. The one that we gave Bob was the one that had 63,000 miles. So it was a little bit overworked, but we gave it to him and he was ecstatic. He was really happy. And I actually have a video clip of the final time we saw the Ferrari. I'm gonna put it right here. So what you saw basically on that clip was my buddy Martin giving instructions and showing Bob how to work the Ferrari, and that was going to be the last day that I saw the Ferrari. For some reason, I don't know why I decided to record it that time. I just had a sneaky suspicion that this guy was going to do something dumb with the Ferrari, and unfortunately I was right. So we give the Ferrari to Bob. Bob is ecstatic. He's super happy. He learns how to utilize the Ferrari. I go help out Martin, just explain some of the features and stuff. And while I'm explaining the features to Bob, out comes a girl, beautiful girl, don't get me wrong, but she comes out walking to the Ferrari and immediately clicked in my head, this guy is going to try to show off to this girl. I don't know if it's his girlfriend, his wife, or whatever, but he's going to try to show off to this girl, and it is not going to go as planned. So I had that in the back of my mind. It's just, I don't know, something about just the way that he was behaving with the car, how he was looking at the girl walking to the car. I don't know, just usually like whenever guys get those type of cars, they just get really throttle happy, and for some reason that thought just popped into my head. So I was already anticipating that this guy was gonna probably do something stupid with the car and go super fast just to impress the girl, even though this is his first time driving one of these cars. Now, Bob was super young. Bob was probably in his mid-20s, late 20s, and he said this is the first time he's actually been to Vegas and rented out an exotic. So we showed him cool places where he could take out the car, kind of open it up, not go too crazy, but where it was at least safe. You were away from other drivers, and as well as a place where you can just have a good stretch of 3 or 4 miles to get a really good feel of the car. And that's basically around Red Rock Canyon. Now, Red Rock Canyon is basically just a 2-lane highway that goes around the west part of Las Vegas. And that's where we recommended him to go. So we leave him the car. He's gonna rent out the car for basically one night because we rented to him around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and he was gonna return it in the morning, and we were gonna pick it up from him in the morning. So he signs all the paperwork. We go back to the office. I log in all the paperwork and I go home. 6 o'clock rolls around and I get a text from a number that I don't recognize, and for some reason I just felt very eerie, thinking that it was this guy that had just rented out the Ferrari and something bad has happened. So I get the text, and basically what the text reads is that, hey, I just crashed the Ferrari. I don't know what to do here. Can you please help me out? And when I tell you guys that my heart sank so fast, because that was the first time that I've had any incident where a renter crashed one of the cars. We've had renters scrape up the rims, you know, get a little bit of a door ding from opening the door and hitting another car, or another person hitting our cars, but we never actually had a full-on crash. So the very first thing immediately what I texted him was, is everybody okay? Who was in the accident? And how bad is the damage? So he texts me that he was with his girlfriend and he accidentally went too fast into a curb, went down into a ditch, spun out, and then the car just kind of went backwards and forwards into the ditch. So luckily, I don't know how he didn't do it, but the car didn't flip over, because if you look at these pictures, there's a little dip where the car could have easily dug in and just flipped over. So I was super thankful that the car didn't flip over, that everybody was safe. But the only bad thing is that it's 6 o'clock in the evening, and I really don't know any company that will go out to Red Rock to haul this thing back and tow it into Las Vegas. So what I did after that was I contacted my manager. I asked her, hey, what can we do here? Can we get the tow company out there? Do you know of anybody that will actually go out to Red Rock? My manager was very quick, actually found the towing company that was going to be able to go out there and pick it up. But we ran into another issue. So where he was driving at was in a spot of Red Rock where they close around 6:30, 7 o'clock. And so they had a gate that was fenced off. So nobody could really go into that area of Red Rock. And so we had to leave the car sitting there all night. Basically, if someone was lucky enough to run around Red Rock or just get behind those gates and kind of walk like a mile down, they would see a part wrecked Ferrari just sitting in the ditch. And that was our Ferrari. So it was just an interesting time there. So next morning I wake up, I'm still super nervous. I couldn't really sleep because I was hoping that nobody was going to steal that Ferrari or exactly what was going to happen. Because when you get an accident like this, you have to make sure that all your T's are crossed, all your I's are dotted. Everything looks perfect on the contract when you rent out to the renter. And make sure that everything is correct, because if not, they can go away scot-free because we accidentally messed up on our end and didn't put in all the information. So what I basically did was I texted the customer first thing in the morning just to see if he can meet us at the office. We'll give him a ride to the office and try to just make sure that everything looks correct. And so at 7 in the morning, I rushed to the office, got there around 7:30 because he was going to be able to get there around 8 o'clock. And luckily, everything was filled out perfectly. And what we ended up doing was he actually settled with his insurance through his credit card. And now he had an American Express card. I don't know exactly how that works. That all went with my manager, but on my end, everything was correctly notated down. We had all his information. We had his credit card information. And I think he actually ended up paying like a $10,000 deductible, which is actually not too bad for a car that's worth $200,000, at least at the time. So now after that, we get everything situated with him. We're telling him we're going to keep in contact with him and his credit card company. And then after that, we had to basically wait because we were able to find a towing company that was actually able to pick it up and take it to a junkyard early that morning. So we got a hold of the towing company. They were able to pick up the Ferrari, bring it to a damaged yard, and I ended up picking up from the damaged yard. So my manager called up an Uber. I rode the Uber all the way to the damaged yard, and I was able to see this mangled Ferrari with my own eyes, and it looked terrible. So these are actually the pictures that were at the junkyard, and we were able to load it up onto a flatbed. We paid about like a $200 fee or something like that to hold at the junkyard, paid off the towing company, and we were able to bring it back to the office so that we can have one of our own special tow company take it to an auction house where someone could buy it for scrap parts, basically. So we got basically the car all the way from the junkyard to our offices, and that was a whole different situation right there, because once we got it to the office, the car, the front wheel was just bent out of place that we could not get it off of the tow truck and pushed into the back of the garage, because we had basically a back garage that we could have put it in that could have kept it away from public eye, but we just could not get it on there because the car did not want to roll. So we tried every possible way to try to push it into the back garage, but it just wouldn't budge and it was just scraping. So we were just like, all right, let's just leave it in the front parking lot. And actually I have pictures right here where we left in the front parking lot. Next day after that, so 2 days after the accident, one of our special towing companies came, pick up the car, and that was the last time I ever saw that Ferrari. So again, from the moment that we dropped it off to Bob and had him rent out the car all the way up until the car got towed away by one of our specialty towing companies, it was about 48 hours, and that was probably one of the most stressful 48 hours because I didn't know what was going to happen if we didn't have all the information down jotted correctly, because it was honestly about 100 different fields that we had them fill out, and if any of those were incorrect or just not filled out correctly, then who knows what would have happened. Who knows if we would have gotten our money back for that Ferrari. I still don't even know exactly how it worked out with the insurance, but all I know is that I didn't get fired from that situation, and there was a wrecked Ferrari that we didn't have in our fleet anymore. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed that story. If you guys did, hit that subscribe button down below. And if you guys want to hear more stories like that, or just other stories that happened in my life, please let me know in the comments down below. I just wanted to do something a little bit different to kind of bring you guys into my world and tell you guys about a time where I used to drive really, really fast cars and just hang out with some of the coolest people and just do some of the coolest things with some of these cars. I actually have a lot of videos and a lot of stories I can share with you guys. But anyways, again, if you guys enjoyed it, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button down below. And until next time, have a great day. Peace.